Welcome to the Dog Advisory Council, a trusted resource for dog owners and enthusiasts. Today we will be talking about what happens if a dog eats a bee. If a dog eats a bee, in most cases, it's just a lively snack that may tickle a bit on the way down. In some cases, however, eating a bee can lead to a bee sting. This sting can cause problems such as swelling, red bumps, and confusion, and fear in your dog. All things considered, it is not dangerous for a dog to eat a bee. In many cases, dogs eat a bee without their humans ever being aware of it. Bees are venomous rather than poisonous, meaning that a dog will have no reaction to digesting the bee throughout the day. The bee is, in and of itself, harmless. The sting is what you may find to be the potentially dangerous part of eating a bee. This is mainly because dogs tend to get stung around the mouth, in the mouth, on the tongue, or in the throat as the bee protests its fate. Then there's the idea that your dog may actually be allergic to bees. In this case, just like in humans, you usually don't know there's a problem until he gets stung for the first time. Firstly, don't panic. Dogs are intelligent creatures that are going to pick up on your energy and use that to guide how they too should be reacting. If you see your dog has eaten a bee, keep your voice calm and walk over to check him out. While petting your dog and giving him some positive attention, do what you can to check his mouth inside and outside for any signs of either the bee or a potential bee sting. In most cases, a dog will yelp if he has a bee sting. If he has yelped and seems in pain, but you can't find a sting site, it might be in his mouth or even his throat. At this point, you'll have to be very observant, as these are the stings that can often bring the most danger to your dog. Whether you can see the sting or not, and even if you don't think that your dog has been stung while eating a bee, you'll want to keep a particularly close eye on him throughout the day. Since complications aren't always present at first, make sure you monitor him for 24+ hours just to be absolutely sure. If he has a sting site, check for signs of redness and swelling. If it is especially swollen, it may mean that the stinger is still attached and irritating the wound. You'll want to learn how to remove it safely and help minimize the pain as well as the healing process. The sting, if it swells up too much, can cause excessive pain or difficulty breathing. Keep an eye on the swelling throughout the rest of the day too. Sometimes swelling can worsen without warning and it may involve you having to make a late-night trip to the vet. Just in case your dog does have some serious swelling, or it turns out that he was stung by a few bees, you'll want to prepare yourself to head out to the vet at a moment's notice. It might even be a good idea to call your vet and alert them to what's going on so that they know to possibly expect you at some point throughout the day. A vet will also be able to tell you over the phone what signs are most serious to watch for, which can help a lot with your nerves. While you do want to keep your overall aura calm, don't be afraid to give your dog lots of love. Just like kids, and some adults, getting stung by a bee is scary. This is especially so because dogs don't normally understand where the sting comes from, since they don't see bees as distinct from houseflies. Between the pain and the fear that it brings, your dog is going to need a lot of love and comfort even hours later. Thankfully, most symptoms of a bee sting on your dog are easy to watch for throughout the day. If you notice that your dog is licking his foot or his side, or he keeps pawing at his nose or even panting, it's a sign that he's feeling pain and he's trying to tend to it. Focus your attention on whatever that pain spot is and inspect it closely. If he is panting a lot but shows no signs of a sting that you can see, it could possibly be inside his mouth and even on his tongue or in his throat. Any kind of red spots on his face or body as well as localized or just large swollen sections should also be monitored. Sometimes they'll show up within 10 minutes of the sting, but sometimes it can take a while to set in too. Since your dog connects the sting with the world outside his house, he may not entirely want to go out there again while he is still in pain from his sting. This isn't always present in some dogs. In fact, some are the opposite. They'll hide in a corner and won't come out no matter how much coaxing and baby talk you do. A dog can have a mild, allergic reaction to a bee sting, but the most likely reaction for an allergy in your dog is going to be a severe, or anaphylactic reaction. Dogs can experience an anaphylactic reaction from a bee sting. Just like humans, some dogs could have a potentially life-threatening allergic reaction to bee stings that will require you to, firstly, realize it's happening, and secondly, get him immediate help. When a human goes into anaphylactic shock, the first sign is normally redness and swelling all over the body. Dogs react differently because they have fur covering their skin, making it appear a little less obvious. If you see that the sting is swelling uncontrollably, or that there is a lot of swelling around the face or mouth, this could be anaphylactic shock. Inflammation is an immune system response, and it could mean swelling around the face and snout even if your dog got stung on his back or leg. If your dog suddenly can't walk in a straight line or can't get up off his bed out of the ordinary, he might be feeling dizzy and have a low heart rate, causing him to stumble and stagger around. He may also seem dazed and confused. Dogs pant for many reasons, but if his tongue is lolling needlessly or he seems to be wheezing or coughing, it's another sign to watch for that his airway could be closing or at least becoming smaller. If you see any or all of these signs, you'll want to jump in the car and take your dog to the vet immediately. Just like in humans, these symptoms can be potentially life-threatening and may endanger your dog's life. If you can, have someone in your household call the vet to let them know so that they will have the steroids and treatment ready when you arrive. Remember to stay calm and use a gentle voice with your dog, however, as if they pick up on your stress, they'll get worked up too and it could worsen the reaction. In most circumstances, eating a bee can't kill a dog. The bee itself is harmless and most stings can be easily treated. However, a dog's life could be at risk if he has a severe allergic reaction if he gets stung by a series of bees around his face, or he gets a sting in his mouth or throat that swells and constricts his airway. So, while eating a bee won't necessarily kill your dog, you do have to keep a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't have any complications. If you want to learn more on how long does it take for a dog to recover from a bee sting, a sting allergic reaction, and how to take care of a dog stung by a bee, click the link in the description below. If the information in this video was useful, please like it and don't forget to subscribe.